Alright guys, consider this your warning. There may be an F-bomb or two in this video. Well now, see, we got a little alfalfa growing in our pigweeds. Afternoon everybody. Welcome to the 10th of July. So, do you ever just wake up and think to yourself, I feel like making some bad decisions today? We're gonna do that today. Let's see how nasty this is. Oh, them weeds are soaking wet. The hay is surprisingly dry-ish. So, these windrows have been here. It was swathed for 5 days, raked on the 4th of July. Cameron and I baled all day on the 4th of July. Baled the rest of this farm other than this 25 acres because it had quite a bit of kochia growth in it and it was tougher than hell. 4th of July was a week ago and these windrows are still here. So this field's been cut for about 2 weeks. We gotta figure out how to get this baled. So here's the rationale behind why we're gonna make some stupid choices today, and I'll explain those stupid choices momentarily, don't you worry. So I said today was the 10th, that's Monday. So you go back to the 4th, last Tuesday. The 4th, the weather was pretty nice around here. Cameron and I baled all day the 4th. We put up 300 bales that day. It was a good day. Got a lot of catch-up done. But then came rain on the 5th. Then came rain on the 6th. Then came rain on the 7th. Then came rain on the 8th. Finally, yesterday was clear. Slight chance of rain today, and then later in the week they're talking rain again. So we're kind of getting pinched down on open windows here. So, as stupid as this idea sounds to all of us, we're going to do some raking and baling this afternoon to try and get a few acres put up. We've got somewhere between 300 and 400 acres on the ground of first cutting alfalfa. We should be well into second cutting alfalfa by now. And we're not even done swathing first cutting. This is unprecedented to say the least. So I know what you're thinking. Some of these hay stands are looking awful thin. And you would be 100% right. They are getting thin. That's what year after year of severe drought will do to you. Look at that. That's turning black. Oh, these are going to be pretty bales. This will bale this afternoon. A couple hours of sunlight after you rake it, this will bale. But see all that regrowth coming? You got to get the old hay out of here. One, you're killing all the hay underneath the windrow. And two, that regrowth just going to keep coming. I know of 2 different neighbors that have fields that they actually just re-swathed. They couldn't get in, couldn't get it done. Regrowth was so bad, they just re-swathed it. But at lunch, I watched 2 different weather channels. Their future radar shows thunderstorms firing up about 4 o'clock. Well, getting to us about 4 o'clock. They've already fired up. There's one up north. Off to the west, there's some severe warned up along the mountains. So they're coming. Both news channels showed it just barely clipping us, if not missing us at all. The email I got with future radar showed it just barely missing us. So we're in a situation here where we got to take a chance. Seems incredibly dumb. With chance of rain coming, we're going to start raking hay. But we're also going to start baling hay. Hector and Blanca are going to get started with the rakes here about any minute now. Cameron and I are going to wait a couple hours and then start baling. See if we can't get 50, 60, 80 acres put up real quick before the rain even can get here. And then we've got 2 clear days. Well, when I say clear, under a 20% chance of rain for 2 days to try and get the rest of it picked up and hopefully finish chopping spring crops, because I mean, hell, we're halfway through July damn near and we're still on spring harvest. It's starting to mount up, the amount of crap we got going on. If I had known it was going to be this wet, I would have planted triple the number of corn acres. I would have planted every sprinkler corner to corn. I would have planted everything to corn. I would have tore up more hay to plant more corn. But I mean, even the corn isn't exactly growing like crazy. Here it is, 10th of July. That's what our double crop corn looks like. Not even knee high yet. You can still see the sprinkler tires out there. The far field behind it, it's only about a foot taller. We haven't had any heat units. It's been in the 70s and 80s, cloudy. It's bizarre. Here's all the damage from this last round of rain. Look at this, I'm gonna bottom out coming out of this lane road. Cool. Oh, I'm assuming there's some roads that are really messed up around for the county to not be here by now working on this. But yeah, we'll get a lot of gravel out in our fields now too. It's good stuff. When Mother Nature pushes you to this point, you have to figure it out and keep moving forward. So we're gonna try and figure it out and keep moving forward. Right now I'm gonna go help the guys in the shop. They are working on Blanca's truck, getting a new water pump put on. Hopefully about an hour and a half, 2 hours, we can get the balers rolling. Okay, 10 minutes later, we already got a new plan. Well, slightly altered plan. Were you guys with me the other day when we chopped that? We got the first of our oats gone. More second crop corn, looking like hell. Looked a lot better before it got hailed on. If you weren't with me, Wednesday, the 5th, we were able to do some chopping because... No, that had to be the 6th. Thursday. Hell, I don't know. Either the 5th or the 6th, we were able to do some chopping last week. I think it was the 6th. Either way. We were able to get through some acres, and then, yeah, it was Thursday, I know for sure. We were able to get through a neighbor's field and one of ours, and then because it was getting late, we had Maddie come open this and then quit, and then she hopped in a semi to help us finish because we were waiting on trucks a lot. Yeah, this would have been Thursday. We get all that done. The plan was for them guys to chop Friday. I left early Friday for a softball tournament in Hays, Kansas. Daughter finally got the all clear from the doctors from her broken hand that she could start playing again. So spent the weekend in Hays, Kansas sweating my butt off, man. You want to talk about even more humid than here. But anyway, so God, I love sprinkler corners. So all that aside, the plan was Friday they were going to try and chop this. Oh, this feels soft. Friday they were going to try and chop all this and go from there on anything else depending on rain. Well, Thursday night it came in and rained a ton. That's when we got our round of hail. It wasn't big hail, but we got a lot of little hail. And so they weren't able to chop it Friday, and then it's been raining ever since. So now the tuna called and said, hey, go drive around that field, see if it's dry enough that we could chop those windrows real quick. Oh. But I mean, I'm having to give her hell in two-wheel drive because this thing is sinking. Let's get out and take a look. Yeah, my pickup's sinking a good couple inches. The semi wouldn't even be able to go on this. They just sink through it, and look at that, right underneath is soft mud. But this needs more time, unfortunately. Needs more of that time that we do not have. The other fun-filled side note is we're getting ready to send the swather to go try a different field where it didn't rain as much. Go cut a couple rows and see what it's like. I might need four-wheel drive to make it around this thing. So Maddie's gonna go try that. I'm gonna go back to the shop and keep helping them guys and just leave this alone. As you can see by the fact the merger is leaving, the tuna said go chop, so we're gonna go see how fun this experience is. What's the matter, Cameron, you big wuss? Don't want to go play in the mud? You scared? Aw, poor thing. Yeah, this is gonna work great. That much mud under the windrows. Not really sure where the truck is supposed to drive. Guess he can hope he kind of sort of fits between the two. Whatever. All the meanwhile, Cameron's going to bale. Tougher than crap. Kosher. Then Tuna just called, do you think I should shut the rakes off? I'm like, yeah, The storm is right there. You've only got one baler headed to the field since I'm in here. Yeah, it's... Remember when I started this video off talking about bad decisions? Is it beer 30 yet? Who could have foreseen this?
I think we need to wait a day or so.
Damn near buried the chopper because, as I said, less than half an inch down was fucking solid mud. Come over to this side, and he is literally dragging the frame, the tanks, his step, everything. That's great. That's real freaking great. For anyone who wants to say turn your wheel, whatever, it's kind of right there, forcing it sideways.
I was trying to saw that around, but I was mostly trying to go this way.
Standing water under the windrow. Truck is wider than the gap between the windrows. And then when I try to pull them, I'm parked on top of the windrow. And if you've ever had one of these in mud, you do zero steering with the steering wheel. You do it all with your feet and just let it kind of go where it can. And where it could go was right there. They must have went and got the long tow strap because they're on the move and he is way out ahead of them. Cool. Didn't even have to get the four-wheel drive dirty. Well, that sucked ass. Hopefully avoid the rain, let that dry for 2 days, 3 days, then we'll worry about it. Both balers are now up and running though. Cameron's on that other field that I went to that had all the weeds. Hector's getting started on all the junk here. On the plus side, the heaviest of the rain is now looking like it's going to go to the south, but it's still looking like a shower coming through here, which will be enough to screw up everything. Everybody already left the shop, so I'm gonna see what the balers are doing, I guess. I don't know. This is weird. I fully expected to be in a baler a big chunk of the afternoon, so to be in my pickup driving around checking on things was not in the agenda. Surprisingly, the moisture is running in the low teens, so we got that going for us, I guess. There's a wet one. So see how that stripe right there is dark? Well, I also see the weeds sticking out of it, so that's super tough. Same with this guy, he's pretty tough because I can see a lot of weeds in him. But as much as it sucks, that's 30, 40. These guys will get 70 acres baled today. So that's a hell of a jump. A little bit left on that corner. Hector's down on that corner. That might have made it worse. And then they've got a corner back over there to go do. And that'll be everything that's raked. The storms have passed, so that's really nice. Means we got a shot for tomorrow. I'm gonna head over west about 6 miles because I was told Swather guy decided to give it a try and found a field he thinks we can chop tomorrow. I'm starting to think the wind's about to suck here in a minute. Can you guys see kind of right there? That's all dirt. I don't know where it's coming from, but it's moving, which tells me it's about to blow. I'm gonna go this way. This storm being out there on the dry land shows you how quickly we can go back to the brown blizzards we had just a few years ago. So this way, there's that dirt blowing there, and then dirt blowing back over there. That's all ground that has had plentiful moisture, but because we're not used to it, there's a good chance it's fallow ground, doesn't have a crop in it, because you don't farm dry land every year out here. Or it could be cropland that failed over winter whenever we were still bone dry and praying for moisture. But that quickly, things can change. Well, that ain't looking too bad. He's swathing now. Maybe tomorrow about noonish we can fire up. See if we can't knock out another 100 to 200 acres. I think he's got about 50 right here. Another neighbor that we got chopped for was going to start in the morning. See what his was like, but from what I'm seeing so far, I mean, it's soft in areas. You can see where he's leaving a pretty good cleat mark from a swather tire. But airing out for a while, this should work. I know this video's been pretty whiny and annoying in that aspect, and I do apologize for that. Today's one of those days that just the constant kick in the nuts has gotten the better of me. I try not to react too much to it, but some days you just lose the battle with your own mind. I'm learning too dry and too wet are insanely similar. We have not been this wet since the 90s. Back then I was just kind of learning how to run equipment, so I didn't have to worry about planning everything out. It was just, do I get to go run something today? Talking with Bart and stuff, he goes, oh, it is miserable at times. He goes, you just charge headlong into what you know is going to be a disaster, but you have to keep moving forward. And that's a real big thing. I mean, if there's some of you guys that are watching this that I know a couple people have commented about how desperately you need rain. Trust me, I know the feeling. We've been in drought basically since 2002 until this year, with some minor breaks in between. 16 and 17 were pretty good years, but in 2013 especially, I remember the black blizzards, as they would say, where you would watch something come that you thought was a storm front and it was just blowing dirt, and then it would hit and you couldn't see to the next telephone pole because the dirt was blowing so bad. So I know what it's like to be way too dry. Don't get me wrong. I would much rather be wet than dry, because wet, at least something is growing and then you have to reprogram your brain to figure out how to go get it. Dry, there's just nothing out there. So I do apologize for things being so depressing in this video. Everything just kind of got the best of me today. Well, on a slightly different note, have you guys ever seen a tree struck by lightning? So these branches over here, obviously the tree is dead, but these branches over here have already lost their bark. You know, tree's pale, wood's dried. But that guy right there, it got struck somewhere up there, because you can follow a trail through the bark all the way down to the ground. And we've got chunks of bark and branch in every direction for 30 to 50 feet. But yeah, it starts way up there, kind of zigzags its way down the tree all the way to the ground. Really glad I wasn't out here when this happened. Either way though, I'm going to bed. I'll talk to you guys later.